Hey, my name is Chad. This video hopefully be a little bit shorter than the last few. If you've been following along, I've had a couple half-hour ones the last few weeks, but I just get to talking and can't stop myself. So this last week I got in the final piece of the puzzle for all of the OBi pieces that I'm trying to get. In theory, at least in my head, it's all going to kind of work together. So this last one that I was waiting on is what they call the grip on. It's got like all the others, so you've got the lock portion here. Now this one is a optional one that you can get that has an Arca mill all around it, so you can mount this to an Arca system and lock it in place. Now the cool idea with this, we'll take a closer look, but obviously you've got a strap that you can put around anything rounded and tighten it down, and it's got a little piece right here, so you've got a screw right there. As you tighten that side, it's going to pull this in and cinch up that excess slack that is on the strap. So it's going to pull part of the strap into the aluminum body and lock it in place real tight. So the idea with this is I want to mount this onto my binoculars and should be able to get it around one of the barrels here. And then in theory, I'll be able to start a stage and either have them clipped onto the edge of my tripod, or just have this around my neck like at an NRL Hunter stage, set up the tripod, and then take these out and be able to lock it into the Arca on the top of the tripod and scan, range everything as needed, and then pull it off and drop it onto that tripod post that I got sitting on the side of it, boop, and just let my binoculars hang there. I don't have to worry about them slapping around on my chest or fiddle with trying to get them into a chest rig, and then grab my rifle, and if I need to use the tripod, everything's kind of locked in place and should stay put. I don't know, this might totally not work, but we're at least going to give it a try. So let's take a look at how to put this all together. Okay, so we'll take a little bit of a closer look here, but you can see these grooves here on the sides. So you've got Arca really on all four edges. So you can mount this anyway onto something that locks onto an Arca. And then now you got this screw on this side, and that's just going all the way through and grabbing this post, which is threaded, and it moves in and out of the body here. But as you tighten that down, it's going to pull that strap into this and cinch it down tight. So we'll see how it goes. Now what I've got in mind is I want my binoculars to sit like this, so that I can drop them lengthways down so they're not hanging up high above the top of my tripod head. So if I hang them like this, it should drop down and fall off to the side and clear the top of the tripod head. So that's what we're going to attempt to do here. So in theory, we just need to get this strap wiggled down here, and what we're going to want to do is try to take up as much of the slack of this as we can. And I think it's going to be kind of tricky just with the angles that I have to work with here. This is one of those times when it would be really cool to be an alien that has 3 or 4 arms. Unfortunately, I've only got 2. So there we go. So I'm pretty sure this is why he came up with the kind of cool idea of having this pull through to tighten it down, because that is pretty impossible to get cinched down. But I'm trying to get it as far up on the barrel as I can here. That way it's got somewhat of a clearance, so I can at least try to get my cap covered it. All right, and then we should just have to tighten this down, and it's going to pull this in. I can see it moving there now. So you can see that strap is disappearing inside. I mean, that's already pretty tight. So in theory, I don't want to go too tight and like crush any of the body of this. So that seems pretty tight, and you can see how much of that post has sucked up inside here. So I think we're in good shape with this. So we'll give it a try. We'll actually go out to my backyard. Of course, it rained a lot more this week, and so I'm going to throw this on my belt, and we're going to try and take a look at everything working together and see if we can figure out if all of these random ideas that I keep getting are actually going to work out in reality. So let's go take a look. Okay, so we're out here behind my house. It rained a lot again today, and I'm not even going to try to get down that muddy road, so we're just out here in my backyard. I did go ahead and throw on the other clamp that I got on my other shoulder strap just to do some of these tests here. So we've got the post here mounted to the tripod head. In theory, I should be able to drop that on there. Then obviously I got my rifle mounted here. So, oh, one more thing I might need. This is kind of what I'm thinking, that instead of mounting on my belt, like if I was to do NRL Hunter, I'd want like that MDT backpack that's going to have like a waist strap, and mount the other lock I've got there for my bag. But in theory, even with this, I mean, it'll mount there. It's just a little awkward. I guess it does kind of keep my rifle more to my side, so I'm not walking on it. But with this, I've got binoculars around my neck, tripod mounted here, and rifle mounted here, and a heavy 11-pound Armageddon Game Changer X mounted to my belt loop. So, or my belt with a blade lock clamp with a lock on it. So no hands, I can at least maneuver all of my gear. There is no way this is going to be any kind of fast, especially, you know, for like a first test of it. But in theory, what I'm thinking is if I'm doing more of these NRL Hunter type matches eventually, that is, you've got to go and set up and find your targets. So first step, they'll call time. You'd want to come up and get your tripod set up. Boom. Probably get it angled towards where you want to be. What I would probably think to do then is go ahead and get my rifle off and get it up close to position. And I'd probably want to toss my bag down close to that. Then I can take my binoculars off here and go ahead and lock them into place, because that clamp or that lock has Arca on it. So at that point, I could just use this and you know, look around, find my targets, think, range them, loosen, go to my next one, range it, boom, find my next one. So that's going to give a more solid glassing surface being locked into the tripod instead of just resting it on my bag like I have been doing. So then after that, let's say we're done with we found all 4, 2, 1, however many targets we've got on the stage. We found them all, we ranged them. Now what I could do is either toss these on the ground, which is what I've kind of been doing lately, but with this, I can just drop that onto the post that I've got there on the side, and that's going to get them out of the way. So I've still got access to the head here, and my binoculars are, you know, they're at least going to stay put. They're not going to fall around. So if I need to use my tripod for any of the next part of the stage, like say I want to shoot off of it, I can go ahead and lock in with my rifle and get set up where I need to be. Boom, take my shots, and we're in good shape there. Or if I wanted to use it for rear support, I've got it there and I can drag it around as needed. So I don't know, in theory, it all kind of works together. It's a little bit awkward, but Doing it this way kind of frees up my hands a little bit more and keeps me from dropping my binoculars directly down on the ground or trying to fiddle with getting a strap around my neck. So one thing that I had noticed, I mean, that keeps it on pretty good, but one thing that I had noticed is if I was trying to take my binoculars and put them back around my neck, at that point they're off the ground, but then I'm trying to get up on the rifle and these are swinging up and banging into them, and then I'm having to try to keep my arms away from them. So they were just getting in the way if I was trying to do it that way. But I think if I just run them like this, I can get in, drop them on here, lock in real quick, and then they are mounted solid. And I can obviously use the ball head as needed, find my targets and range them, take them off, and then just drop them right here on that post. And then they're going to stay put. They do make like a square post and a square lock, so that would keep it from swinging back and forth. I don't know if that's going to be a problem, but I think it looks like I've got clearance between the Arca on my tripod here and the corner of my binoculars, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. If it turns out to be one, I can adjust the plate that's on here to a different style and just get a square post instead of a round post. So I don't know, something we might look at later if needed, but at least for now, all the components that I have in my head are at least going to function. Boom, we're done with that. We can toss it right up there, get it out of the way. And if we need to do something with our bag, we can toss it up there, although that'd be really uncomfortable. Actually, I wonder, I mean, that'll work. It'd stay there. I don't know why you'd want your bag that high, but I mean, it could be doable. But that's why we got the one down here on our belt. And we keep that, and we're in good shape. So, you know, moving, it's not a way to move quickly, but it is a way to move without having so much weight on your arms and tiring those out as you're moving between stages. And then obviously setting up stuff. You've got everything on your body and ready to go when you need it. Just pull off and get to work. I like the idea of it. I think with the MDT backpack, these straps are going to be in a little better location where the mounts will be a little better situated for actually getting some use out of them. So I don't know, we'll take a look. Hey, if you like taking a look at new things that you maybe haven't seen before, go ahead and get subscribed right down below here, because I mean, this is just a pretty cool little gadget right here. And it sounds like I've got a cow next door. That's kind of weird. I live in town. That legit sounded like a cow. Okay. Well, I mean, let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Did I miss any of the details on this that you might want to take a closer look at? But so far this seems like it's going to stay put pretty well. I might trim off the extra tail that I've got here once I decide if I for sure like where this location is at. But just being able to get this mounted up and able to lock it into an Arca, that's going to be really handy. Plus the lock, so I can drop it in onto the post whenever I need it. So I think this is going to work for at least the idea that I have, and there's a ton of different uses for this. You could mount one of these straps onto a tripod leg and get it a little further away from your body. This is a little close using the tripod post that threads into the head here, but I mean, it does the job that I need it to do, so can't really complain about it. Everything locks in pretty securely, so it takes a little force to get them separated, but overall I think I'm pretty happy with the overall setup of this. And if I need to make slight adjustments as we go, not very hard to do that. So I think that's going to do it for this one. I'm going to get back to cleaning up a little bit of my house and see if I can make things look a little prettier inside, just because I don't do that very much, and rainy weekends are a really good time to do that. People are probably weirded out driving by with a rifle mounted to a backpack. Not something you see every day. Well, thanks for hanging out with me for a few minutes on this one. I wanted to try to make a quick video this week, make up for the last two. So thank you very much for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate everybody that watches my videos and subscribes. Comment down below, let me know what you think. I really do hope you have a great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.